Welcome back to the last in this series of me showing my Utopian player development pathway through and into tennis. My name is Kris Soutar. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, press your notification bell to get notified when all the new content is released. If you are a newly subscribed person, thank you very much. The numbers are starting to grow, but make sure, I have one request, please start to comment, because I'm making these videos for you. I do not particularly like to see myself on a screen. I certainly don't like to hear myself. So I am doing these videos 100% to help people in the tennis world of all ages and stages, all experiences. So, a couple of things. The first one is that you will notice, if you're astute, that phases 5 and 6, I changed the names compared to what I released in video 1. The reason being is when I was speaking about them, the names didn't tie up to what the words I was saying, so I just changed the names. You know, at the end of the day, this is a Utopian pathway. To be honest, if on reflection, I would probably even change the ages about. I wouldn't have it 16 to 23, it's too big. Maybe 16 to 20, 21, and so on. But let's not get too hung up on that sort of stuff. So we're going to unpack this final stage, which is that 23 plus age group, and all I'm going to talk about really is about using the skills that people have learned naturally in tennis in other areas of their life. I don't think I need to go into too many details, because it's plastered all over social media about the benefits of sport, all the character traits of determination, work ethic, problem solving, perseverance, all these things you can take into other areas of your life. Which leads me nicely to the second point, which is this would be one of my biggest wishes. It would almost be like, if this could be my life's work, this would be it. It would be trying to find a way of connecting tennis to other industries or careers, because the tennis world houses hundreds, if not thousands, of different career pathways, whether it be, let's take the tennis-y types things. Of course, you've got players, coaches, referees, you know, umpires, all these kind of things. Let's park them for a second. I'm talking more about the business side. So you've got law, accounts, broadcasting, journalism, photography, physios, doctors, and there are just so many different things. And if you actually start to mind map that, it's amazing how many different areas there are. So that would be my biggest wish, is we all have probably heard this expression, is do what you love and you will love what you do. I'm blessed in that regard, because I literally do my hobby for my job. So there's not a day where I wake up and go, oh man, I'm doing tennis again. I absolutely love it. So I think I would love, I don't think, I know I would love to try and connect tennis to all these industries. So imagine having played tennis from being a young child and actually loving the game, and then finding a career that attaches to what you want to do for your work. And it might be not be an absolute direct correlation, but it's in the ballpark of tennis. You're going to be involved in a sport that you love, and your career is going to be attached to it. That, for me, that is utopia. So that leads me on to the third one of finding ways to involve in tennis. That's more about almost kind of creating this pay it forward cycle. So this is something I think we tend to miss a lot in tennis. There's too many junior initiatives, and there's not enough aimed at adults. Or the ones that we do are like, if you're a female and you can only play tennis on a Tuesday, it's like the tennis Tuesdays. I'm probably going to get my wrist slapped for that, but I think it's an absolute nonsense. I think it's brilliant to create female-only programs, but to say you have to play on a Tuesday is like absolute nonsense, just because some market research said that most people like Tuesdays. Talk about restricting your audience. So anyway, off my soapbox for a second. I believe that we need to pay more attention to adult tennis. Now, the reason I believe that is simple, because that has a much more natural or organic cycle back into the game. So if I am an adult and I love tennis and I go on to have a family, then there's like no chance, zero chance that I will not give my children the opportunity to try tennis. But if I've never played tennis before, and someone comes to me and says, oh, we go to a taster session to their primary school, and someone takes my kid and they say, right, we want to take them to tennis. If I've never done tennis, I'm thinking, what, tennis? No, let's stick to football. So we need to create this cycle, because in football it happens naturally. I'm going to give a shout out to my pal Jimmy Wilson. One of my friends, Jim, has a son similar ages to my daughter. Jim, let's not hold this against him, is a Rangers fan. That's Glasgow Rangers, in case you're watching this from another country. And Jim's father was or is a Rangers fan as well, and they've always gone to the football together. Harry is about 6-ish, yeah, and has just gone to his first Rangers match, and I saw the photo of him all decked out in his Rangers gear, and I thought, this is brilliant. This is what tennis needs, is this natural cycle through family where you're just going to at least get the opportunity to try it. Now, there's every chance that Harry's going to play football because his dad played football, because his grandfather played football. And in tennis, because we only hook on the kids, we're getting a pile of kids into tennis, but their parents have never played tennis. So if we tackle the adults, then we have this opportunity to create a natural cycle where kids and grandchildren are going to just be introduced to tennis organically. That's pretty much it from this pathway, but what I want to do is summarize a couple of threads that have been consistent. Number one, family, community, team, togetherness, creating environments where it feels like a place to go, a place to be something, a place to be someone. The second one is the competition. So the competition structure at the moment in the UK is just embarrassingly bad. Now, there might be tournament referees watching this. I think you do an amazing job. I could not be a tournament referee, so I'm not slagging off tournament referees. I'm saying that somewhere in the last 20 years, the eye has been taken off the ball in terms of the competition structure. It is an absolute mess. It's like a patchwork quilt that is just getting passed around. Somebody puts their new patch on it. Mini tennis ratings, bin them, absolute nonsense. The rating scheme in general, absolute nonsense. Get rid of that. There are things like UTR, which I think I mentioned in the first video. Check out it. It seems to be, well, it's because it's done on an algorithm, it's a bit more healthy. You get rewards for just playing. It's not necessarily just, trying to get your percentage of wins and so on. So you can check that out. But the competition structure for me is at the heart of everything we're trying to do here. We are a sport. Our sport is a game, and if we cannot have people competing in our sport at every age and every stage, then we're going to cease to exist as a sport in this country. It's going to become a hobby. It's like the equivalent of someone going to a piano lesson, and then 3 or 4 lessons in, they say, so what tune do you want to learn? Oh no, I'm just happy plonking away on the keys. It's absolute madness. Mini tennis has become borderline farcical. It's been used as a marketing tool to just get numbers in. Players are leaving mini tennis and having spent 3 or 4 years playing mini tennis, and they do not have the fundamental skills to go and play the game on a full court with a yellow ball. That is a joke. So that has to change as well. So the reason I've done these 4 videos, as I said in the first one, the numbers are getting lower and lower and lower as the pathway goes on, because we're fixated about developing professional players. Professional players, in my humble opinion, and I might be wrong, it just becomes obvious when they have the ability to really make that jump into the pro game. We as coaches should be more focused on the masses, creating a ton of people, like a wave going through a pathway, not a little trickle coming through at the end. So if I see one more pyramid, I'm going to pull out the little hair that I have left, because it's not a pyramid. It should be a big chunky tube or a wave going all the way through. We need to create opportunities for people to parachute into our sport. If somebody wants to take it up in their mid-20s or mid-30s or mid-40s, there should be opportunities for them to come in and compete. And I'm not talking high level, just test themselves. It is a sport. So, breathe. That's been 4 videos I've done on that. If you watch them all back to back, they will make some sort of sense. But as I said at the start of this video, I need you to start commenting on these videos, and I need you to start sharing them, because together we can do things. We can actually do things about it. As I said a couple of times in these videos, I am not blaming governing bodies or associations. I couldn't care less. What I know is that if a bunch of people get together and make a decision to change and develop together, then things can really start to happen. So you do not need a governing body to put more internal competition on in your club. You do not need a governing body to create more of a family environment in your club situation or situ. You do not need a governing body to help you get together with a bunch of other clubs and create a league for your mini tennis players. You do not need a governing body to make you actually go, I need to start developing my players so they actually have the skills to be able to play the game. Not to a massive level, but play the game. Even if it means them bunting the ball back and forth, technique looking like they're swinging well but missing the ball is borderline fraudulent for parents. It's a farce. Yeah, so we need to get rid of all of this and get back to developing our sport. That is enough for me. So, comment, share, like, get it around, and together we can maybe do something about it. Bye bye.